Hey everyone, this is Chad Morris. I wanted to make a video about a technique that I've been using for quite a while now. And essentially it's a different way of looking at your fretboard. And it may free up your playing. And what it does for me is it allows me to seamlessly transition in and out of chords, of a chord progression, no matter how complicated the chords are. I can facilitate those chords from one position on the fretboard or wherever I am on the fretboard using modes. So I've recently called it Modal Mapping. And when you get it down, you'll start to notice that the whole fretboard just lights up with opportunity. And you can use this technique to tackle some pretty difficult chord progressions. So we're going to be working in jazz because it's the best medium to show how this technique works. So I'm going to do a quick introduction on modes, and then I'm going to show you how you can use them to better your soloing. Okay, so what are modes? You can think about modes simply as scales within scales. If I take G major here and start the scale from the second scale degree, A, that's the Dorian mode. So G major is Ionian, the second scale degree is Dorian, and for this example, for this exercise, we're going to play it this way, in this position. Right? I'm going to post a link to a resource where you can see all of these fingerings. So just for the sake of the video, I'm just going to go through all the modes. So we had G major is Ionian, second scale degree is Dorian, third is Phrygian, right? Fourth is Lydian, fifth is Mixolydian, sixth is Aeolian. That's your minor scale, right? Your natural minor scale. Seventh scale degree is the Locrian mode. And then back to G. Okay. So what are we going to do with these? What I really want you to notice is the pattern of these modes when started on the sixth string. You want to internalize these patterns. So okay, for instance, let's just do this. Let's play all the modes, but let's play them from the same key. From the same key. Right? Dorian. Okay, Phrygian. Lydian. Mixolydian. Natural minor, and Locrian. So This is all going to make sense soon. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you how you can use these patterns to map out chord progressions and make your soloing just a little bit easier. Okay, let's put this modal mapping to work. I have a little chord progression here. A major 7th, C major 7th, F major 7th, E flat major 7th. So we're going to map this using the modal mapping technique. So for A major 7th, I'm just going to do A major, right? A Ionian. For the C major 7th, I'm not going to go up here. I'm going to stay down here, but I'm going to use A Aeolian, the natural minor. But I'm going to be picking out the target tones that make up the quality of C major 7th. That's root, 3rd, 5, and 7th. But I'm using A Aeolian as the framework to make out those intervals. See, this is still A Aeolian. And this is the C major 7th, but I'm just outlining C major 7th using A Aeolian as a framework. Okay, so the F major 7th, what am I going to use here? A Phrygian. 3rd scale degree of F major 7th is A Phryg. Right? So same thing. I'm not going to go down here and facilitate it. I'm going to do it from A Phrygian, but picking out the target tones. Right? And for the B flat major 7th, since it's so close to where we just were, I'm just going to use B flat Ionian. Right? Back to A major 7th. So let me put this all together for you so you can see how it sounds. Okay, so let me give you guys a different look at this. Let's do that same chord progression, but let's map it using a different mode in another position. So we got the A major 7th. Instead of doing the A Ionian like I just did, we're going to do C sharp Phrygian. We're going to be tonicizing those intervals that make up that A major 7th, though. Right? But we're just using the C sharp Phrygian as a framework. Okay? C major 7th, since we're so close, we can just go ahead and grab C Ionian. Right? For the F major 7th, you can grab F Ionian, but I would grab D Aeolian. But tonicizing those intervals in that F major 7th. Right, because it leads up to something cool when you go to the B flat major 7th. D Phrygian for that. So you're coming from D Aeolian. See that? To D Phrygian, right? And then back to C sharp Phrygian. Right. Okay, let me put this together and show you how it sounds. Okay, so wrapping up, what this technique is going to allow is a greater security when you're working, because you're going to have a framework now from where to pick out those target tones in the chords that are passing through. So it's going to give you some greater security, and it's also going to lend your playing to more fluidity, because you're not jumping up and down the fretboard to facilitate chords. You're doing it from wherever you happen to be. So I know what you're saying. You're saying I may not have the improvisational vocabulary to make this work to the fullest extent. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna start posting some videos about how to take a lick and permutate it across the modes and come up with 7 different licks. There's a lot of ways to expand your vocabulary so that you can make this technique work a little better. But you want to get to the point where you're doing all this by feel. Analysis is good at first, but you want to be able to hear a chord, find a related interval on the fretboard, and just solo. So this is a step in the right direction to get to that level. That level of play, I like to call it a spiritual level of play, because you're not thinking anymore. And for me, when I'm soloing, the more I think, the less nice the solo sounds. But the more I feel, the solo sounds really good. And I call that the cognitive barrier. There's a barrier between the inspiration of a melodic idea and the expression of that idea through your instrument. There's a little barrier there I like to call the cognitive barrier, and that's thought. If you can totally delete that, your ideas will free up, your playing will free up, and you'll have you'll be on a spiritual level of playing. But I'll get into that later in some later videos. But until then, thanks for watching.